When I was younger, growing up Southern Baptist and being the preacher's kids, one of my favorite things that we did every December, like December 1st, right after Thanksgiving, was to decorate the church for Christmas. And we would get everything ready, like Christmas trees out, angels, the whole 9 yards, everything. And then it would come down again right after Christmas Day. And I remember after I first converted to Catholicism, I went to the church for Advent Sunday and I was like, yes, we're going to get that love. And it was not any different, except the altar cloths were purple. And I was like, well, are they going to decorate? And I kept getting closer and closer to Christmas. And I was like, do they decorate? And we come in there Christmas Eve Mass, and it's beautiful, and it stays up for an entire season. It stays up for at least the octave, usually through the Epiphany, and in some churches, it'll stay up even through Candlemas on February 2nd. And so that was my first sort of introduction to the difference between Advent and Christmas. And these are two different liturgical seasons, and they both are very important, and we can't conflate them or we're going to miss something really important. And that's what I love about the liturgical year. So by separating these two, you really get to get into the mindset of ancient Israel, where you're waiting and you're anticipating a Messiah. And then when Christmas comes, it's not something that's just tied to the commercialism of the secular culture. It's a season. And you get to really spend time in it and sit with it with the Blessed Virgin, with St. Joseph, and really just celebrate the season in a different way. In raising my children, it's important to me to emphasize the actual liturgical year and to not do the same thing that I did as a Protestant, where I didn't have any differentiation between the year. All of my seasons and days were pretty much the same except for Christmas Day and Easter Day proper. And so as a Catholic raising small children, I want them to know that there is the Advent season and there's the Christmas season. And so one of the things we do is we decorate really slowly. It's hard in secular culture because Christmas trees were already out at Costco last time I was there. It was August. But we wait. We don't go out at Thanksgiving weekend and buy the Christmas tree and that sort of thing. But we have our Advent wreath that we do, and we may do a Jesse tree, things like that help the children walk through the Advent season. And then when it gets closer, we might, for St. Lucy's feast day, that might be when we put our lights out in the yard to celebrate light, Lucia light, that sort of thing. And so it's a slow decoration over the season so that by the time we get to Christmas Eve, that's when the house is full and it's ready to welcome the light of the world. And then we keep those decorations up through the Epiphany at least. Another thing I try to do is we have a special Advent playlist where I only play Advent music for that season. And there's so many wonderful songs beyond O Come, Emmanuel. There's actually a lot of Advent songs that you can play. And then we have our separate Christmas playlist. So you're not burnt out of all the Christmas things by the time Christmas is here. You actually get to experience it at the right time. You get lost sometimes in the arc of salvation history. And so one of the beautiful things about the liturgical calendar, I think, is that it gives you space and almost permission to experience different parts of Jesus's life, of salvation history, of the scripture at appropriate times. You know, the Old Testament tells us there's a time to laugh, there's a time to cry, there's a time to sow, there's a time to reap. Once we start to realize that there are different times that are appropriate for different things, we can start to live our lives in a more heightened awareness of different aspects of things that God is doing at different times. And so if I were just learning about the liturgical calendar, I would invite someone to look at it as just an invitation to see your day-to-day in a different way, to emphasize different aspects of your spiritual life and to experience different moments. It's just a new way to invite Him in.